Hi, my name is Christopher Janda, and I chose to do my project on Dr. James Cameron. I chose Dr. Cameron because he was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin, the city in which I was raised. He founded the Madison branch of the NAACP, the city in which I currently live, and he received his honorary doctorate from UW-Milwaukee, the school that I am currently attending. This is my project. James Cameron was born on February 25, 1914, in La Crosse, Wisconsin. His parents divorced and he and his mother moved to Marion, Indiana. While they lived in Marion, Cameron got involved with the wrong crowd. According to Cameron, he and his friends went to rob a couple on a road called Lover's Lane. Cameron took a gun and pointed it at the couple in the car. When the man got out of the car, Cameron recognized him as a customer for whom he had shined shoes, someone he had gotten along with well. He realized he had no business being there, handed the gun to his friend, and ran off. He was arrested that night. While they were awaiting trial, a lynch mob broke Cameron and his friends out of jail and hanged Cameron's friends.
The mob came back, told the crowd, said, "Cameron's not in here." And they said, "Yes, he is, and we won him." And then they began to chant for me like a football player. "We want Cameron, we want Cameron, we want Cameron." And I could feel my body feel like I was encased in a ice suit. I was just cold all over. And to think they wanted me that bad, people whom I thought were my friends, people whose lawn I'd mowed and whose cars I'd washed and whose errands I'd run for them and whose shoes I'd shined, people I knew were in the mob, neighbors.
Cameron had a noose around his neck when a policeman named Charles Truex saved him. He then faced trial and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. He was pardoned by the state of Indiana in 1991, and no one ever faced charges in the lynching. When he was released in 1935, at the age of 21, he was determined to turn his life around and moved to Detroit and attended Wayne State University. Around this time, he founded NAACP chapters in Madison, Wisconsin, Muncie, Indiana, and South Bend, Indiana. He also established and was the first president of the NAACP chapter in Anderson, Indiana. He served as the Indiana State Director of Civil Liberties from 1942 to 1950. In 1952, Cameron and his family moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He took part in the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. In 1967, he began working with Dr. James Groppe to end housing segregation in Milwaukee. From the 1950s to the 1980s, he wrote hundreds of articles regarding civil rights and on the history of lynching. In 1982, he published his memoir in which he details the attempted lynching, A Time of Terror, A Survivor's Story. In 1979, Cameron visited Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Museum in Israel. Cameron recognized the need for a similar museum in the United States, and in 1988, he founded the America's Black Holocaust Museum in Milwaukee. The museum focuses on the plight of African Americans in the United States and features several exhibits ranging from Africans' pre-capture days to slavery to Jim Crow to, of course, the thousands of lynchings that occurred. Originally opened in a small, second-floor space on Wright Street, the museum eventually moved into a storefront space on North King Drive. That location closed in 2008, and the museum was reopened online as a virtual museum in 2012. In 2016, the James Cameron Foundation began discussing plans to reopen a physical location, and this year the museum will be reopening at 401 West North Avenue. In 1999, Cameron received an honorary doctorate from UW-Milwaukee, and in 2006, his name was added to a 4-block stretch of North Avenue. Just a couple of weeks ago, on February 25, 2019, Milwaukee County Executive Chris Abell declared it Dr. James Cameron Day.